Hey folks, it's Jim. Just wanted to say, look out below. Things are getting hot. We have Iran attacked Israel today. Over 200 missiles. Nobody really knows how many yet. The complete count isn't there. They're high-end missiles, I might add. Several got through. The Iron Dome was overwhelmed. So that's how we'll open. So now we have Israel and Iran now in direct war with each other. Okay, there is no more wondering if this is going to happen. It's now happening, and that's why I'm doing this video today. We also have China and India increasing tensions over in a little area called a place called the Chicken's Neck in India that China is kind of pushing its will over there, which separates a segment of India from the mainland of India. And so that tension is escalating again, as it has before. So we have then, obviously, Russia-Ukraine, which is escalating. Russia just is now going to conscript another 100 and whatever thousand young people again. So this is increasing as well. And so we see now the economic challenges around the world are beginning to escalate, folks, big time. Okay, we in the West thus far are being insulated and protected from the effects of these wars at this moment. But if these begin to spill over, everything's going to get affected, folks. And so we need to be conscious and aware of this. Don't panic, don't worry, just be prepared, right? As always, I just bought another unit. I'll be going over them shortly. Just do a quick video on those, the EcoFlow Pro 3. I just bought my second one, so I'm very happy with that. And I'm going to build those both out to 24 kilowatt system, but not right now because I've got other things I want to do. But anyway, it's another system. I already have one, as I've shown you before. This is going to be another one. Plus, I have the portable power stations for backup, and I have 4 generators. So I am fully prepared now, and where I am not worried anymore about power or whatever. My life's going to go on. So, and the reason why I do all that power too is I have a 400-foot well in case things do go nuclear. Okay, my water is protected. It's 400 feet deep. So that is primarily why I'm so focused on electricity. But you don't have to be, depending on your situation, right? So whatever your situation is, do what you need to do, but don't panic. Don't stress out. Don't put the family in a massive amount of debt because all of this could blow over or maybe not. But what I'm seeing, folks, this is not getting better anywhere in the world. It is getting worse. The birth pains, right? Okay, I'm not saying this is the time or whatever, but it sure does seem like it, doesn't it? And things just keep getting worse. So I want you to pay attention to that. China economically is having big problems, okay? And they keep throwing more and more at it. Nothing seems to work, okay? And I think that's going to continue, just like in our 08 cycle. We will see what happens with China, but they've lost many of their highest paying customers, are pulling away. Businesses have been pulling out. Unemployment keeps rising. And so China's facing many headwinds going forward, just as an economy, let alone if a war starts. Okay. Russia is primarily, for the most part, bankrupt. And I know a lot of you don't want to hear that, or you're listening to other channels, but I'm telling you right now, China, India, nobody wants the ruble. So when nobody wants your currency, you're done. Okay. It's just done. Nobody wants the ruble, period. Not even their allies who are buying oil from them will take the ruble. Okay, so no one be aware of that. In and of itself, what is it? If nobody wants your currency, it's over. Okay, so a lot of you are arguing about Russia. I don't care what Russia's doing internally. Okay, neither does anybody else. Right? But when it comes to the outside world, and even Russia's allies don't want the ruble, There's a big problem. And it's going to lead to real big problems going forward for Russia as a result. Okay? So for now, they can get away with it. Wartime economy, internal economy. But when they have to buy things from outside the country, that inflation's going to keep coming home harder and harder and harder and harder. And Russia's going to be in bigger and bigger trouble going forward. And that's just the way it is, folks. It's not anything about who's right or who's wrong. It's just economic facts. Okay? And it's already showing up in Russia. So we've got all that. We've got China, economic problems. Russia, economic problems. The West, yes, economic problems. But remember I told you about our closed loop system. China and Russia cannot do that. Okay? They can't. They rely on all... China's the number one exporter of the world. Okay? And they're trying to export their way out of this problem. So if you think China can go to a closed loop system, can't happen. China will collapse if they tried it. Because they're relying on exports to try and get them out of this. And by the way, while they're doing this, they're pissing off the rest of the world. Vietnam and the Philippines have now united with Japan, others, Australia, India, and others against China. Vietnam is now officially on the books as being pissed at China. Okay? And they're not the only ones. Other nations are now openly speaking out. They've had enough of China. And it's authoritarian bullying going on in the South China Sea. It's affecting a lot of nations. They're fishing in places that are sovereign to other nations, right? For their livelihood and their fishing fleets and feeding their people. And China's usurping its will into everybody's business and everybody's fish and everybody's sea lanes, right? So this is all becoming a problem. More nations are getting vocal about it. So I want you to continue to pay attention to all of these things. Things are not getting better, folks, on any front. And if you've heard the economic numbers about the U.S. and Europe lately, then you know. Okay? We're not doing great either. Difference is we can go to a closed loop system and control pretty much everything. So I'm not too worried about hyperinflation or anything like that. Okay? Things could get inflated, yes, but we've been cutting back imports from China to the point now where Mexico and Germany both outweigh China for U.S. imports. Okay? So consider all of that and try and listen to the cooler heads. Let them prevail. Do not panic. All right? Do not live in a state of panic or worry. Please don't. It's going to cause you to do things that are not healthy for you long term or short term. Okay? So just try and keep a level head and go through this and pay attention or don't. Watch my channel, watch whoever's channel you want, and I will try and keep you updated. But today, officially, Iran and Israel are going to be at war. Okay? It is now official. This has spread, and it could spread farther, depending on Israel's reaction, because it could be devastating in one fell swoop. They can devastate Iran, possibly. We will see what happens. What Iran did today was pretty significant, okay? These were not low-end missiles or drones. These were also all high-end ballistic missiles. So Iran volleyed a lot of their high-end stuff at Israel, making a significant impact. I don't know how much damage. Nobody knows yet because they don't tell anybody, right? They hit airfields, possibly a nuclear power plant. We have no idea how much damage was done inside of Israel. The Iron Dome was overwhelmed. There were so many rockets, right, or missiles, that it was just overwhelmed. And so Israel's not going to have a choice but to seriously retaliate. And, you know, that probably is going to depend on how many F-35s they lost and other things. We don't know. That was an airfield. One or two airfields got hit in Israel. So we shall find out how much damage was done, how many aircraft were lost, and the total damage within. I'd say I saw at least 50 rockets touch down. Okay, so that means the Iron Dome missed potentially up as high as 25%. But I mean, that's still fantastic, right? But still, 25% out of 200 to 400 missiles getting through is 50 to 100 missiles getting through. And that could be significant damage, couldn't it? Okay, so Israel is going to retaliate, and Lord knows how hard they're going to retaliate. We'll see what happens. The U.S. is committed to Israel today, officially, to shoot down anything coming into Israel's airspace. So, and that was official, I believe, from the White House today. So, pay attention to that as well, where we stand as a nation. That's going to tell you where we're going forward, isn't it? So, yeah, just relax. Don't panic. Don't worry. Don't listen to all the fear stuff out there. There's nothing to be afraid of because there's nothing you can do about this. It's got nothing to do with us, does it? These are world leaders making decisions, creating chaos, and possibly just we're entering into those birth pains that we should all be prepared for anyway, right? So let's focus on that. Let's focus on being prepared. Do you have an extra 100 pounds of rice? Do you have these basic things that are super low cost that you can do and not break the bank doing it to help yourself be prepared? And other things, water filtration, things of that nature. Are you getting prepared? Have you studied your nuclear manuals and other manuals to know how to react should a nuclear event take place, or should fallout start going across the jet stream? Pay attention. Just do what you can do each day, slowly, one step at a time. It's not going to hurt for you to learn more. It's not going to hurt for you to have an extra 100 pounds of rice. It's not going to hurt you to do the things that are, I think, we should all be doing right now. And then relax and enjoy your life and wait to see what happens, because that's all we can do. We're isolated from a lot, and there's a lot of people out there thinking this, oh, well, it's just another year. But folks, there's something different about this year, and it's escalating. It's not getting better. None of this is getting better. Not one area. Economics, warfare, none of it is getting better. It's getting worse. So don't panic, but I strongly suggest you get prepared, because this is getting closer and closer to something that could get way out of hand, right? So anyway, hope you're all doing well. Hope life's treating you good. Be blessed. Be happy. Most of all, be prepared.